everyone and welcome. It's another ICBA/Merit Canada interview. I'm Jordan Bateman. I'm VP Communications for ICBA in British Columbia, but I am joined by the president of ICBA Alberta, Mr. Mike Martens.
Thank you, Jordan. It's great to be here with you today.
Mike, thank you. We appreciate it. Mike, can we talk politics first?
Oh, please.
Okay. So, big election, obviously, in the spring. Going in, it was neck and neck. It was, is it going to be Notley? Is it going to be Smith? Close result from an Alberta point of view. From the rest of Canada, still a blowout. A blowout for the rest of Canada. Danielle Smith wins. And I got to tell you, as an outsider, my observation of Danielle's, the premiers, we knew her pre-premier, so.
First name basis.
Exactly. She's really grown into the role. She's doing an outstanding job right now.
Yeah, I think there was a pivotal moment in the campaign, one of her first all candidates meetings, debates. She did such a good job and really allayed fears. And since then, it has been rock solid.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately wasn't the first part of her tenure, but so good to see. And the public opinion polling is showing that people are really appreciating stability, gaining confidence, gaining her place in Confederation now at premiers meetings and all that kind of stuff. So good for us.
Yeah, well, of course, the trick in Alberta politics is you have a lot more freedom for the caucus than you do, say, in British Columbia, and certainly than you do federally. That's really what brought Kenny down. But right now, it seems like caucus is in lockstep. They seem pretty happy.
Well, yeah. So
happy at Jace?
So right now the caucus is very much a rural caucus with a few Calgary seats.
Yeah.
And I think everybody understands the mission is to regain some urban security. And so the rural people know they've got a voice in caucus, and so they're confident there. And they are also cognizant of not overstepping.
Yeah.
So I think right now they're united, both in name and in spirit. And we're going to see, though, this fall will be a very interesting session. And of course, with the new budget in the new year, I think that's where we'll get to see a better trend line.
Yeah. And I guess the challenge this fall is, it seems like the Trudeau government is running headlong into a hard cap on oil and gas emissions, which is absolutely a non-starter in Alberta.
But we talk about harmony in the Conservative movement in Alberta, and it's Trudeau that's really making that happen.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
He's a great uniter. He's such a uniter.
He's the great uniter, uniting Conservatives since 2012 or whatever, 2016, whenever it was he came in. But the opposition to his policies are bringing everybody together in Alberta and just reminding Albertans. The one part of that is it starts to flame separation talk. But Danielle, very interestingly, met with multiple ministers and said, look, yes, we have differences, but we're going to figure out a way to work. And I think that's what's giving her strong public opinion polls, is she's not just gut reaction and pulling the cord right away when she easily could, and a lot of people would support her. And I think she knows that patient game is going to win, because even if they do end up talking in that way, and the federal government, shock and horror if Trudeau does get back in and continues this path, there will be more talk. But having shown that she is ready to take the steps to cooperate and work together, that diplomacy side, the urban Conservatives in Alberta appreciate that.
Yeah. And one of my perceptions of BC, the big difference between BC and Alberta in the kind of work we do is, here in British Columbia, I spend a lot of time on get DS. Get DS on oil and gas, get DS on air, get DS on infrastructure, get DS. And I feel like it's a constant battle to be pushing back against the bureaucracy, the provincial malaise. We're constantly pushing to try to get projects to yes. In Alberta, though, I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and nowhere is perfect, but the reflex is, yes, we got to yes, but how?
Yeah, maybe, and I agree. I think that is a very good differentiator between the provinces. Maybe to Alberta's disadvantage historically. It was that go-get-'em attitude, which has so many positive things to it, that sometimes railroads, as some people say, that attitude coming through BC is what got major oil projects, major pipeline projects in trouble. It's just, hey, well, this is just obviously a yes. And instead of doing the work of getting people on board, I think Albertans have taken that lesson to heart. There's lots of great cooperation with First Nations, and I think, attempts by many companies to do their best to become carbon neutral or environmentally responsible and all that kind of stuff. So I do think there's a shift. But yeah, like even Calgary last week, City Hall making really big steps to reduce the approval processes in a city that is already 10 times as fast as Vancouver.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. I was watching this morning on our ICBA morning news little thing we do. I was comparing Edmonton to Vancouver, and both have budget shortfalls. Both are struggling. They spent too much money. Really, what's happened is they negotiated contracts with their unions that were far more generous than they had budgeted. Edmonton, the reflex is, okay, we got to reduce discretionary spending. We'll use some of our reserves, but we got to get this fixed for the long term. Vancouver's was, we're going to raise license fees on contractors and builders, and we're going to multiply by 8 times the fee for Airbnb owners. Yeah. So it's that reflex of more regulation, more taxes in Vancouver, whereas Edmonton, which isn't even the most conservative town in Alberta.
Well, I was just going to say, so you've got a federal Liberal who's a former federal Liberal minister, and so he is the mayor of Edmonton. You have a city that is 100%. There isn't a single provincial Conservative seat in Edmonton. Yeah. It's all NDP and taking a more market-based approach. Yeah. To be fair, on the federal side, every seat but 1 or 2 in Edmonton is Conservative federally. So, let's not go too hard on how left Edmonton is.
No, for sure. For sure. Okay, well, tell me, you've been in the job now for 7 months, 6-7 months. Alberta president. Tell me how it's going with ICBA Alberta. I know that you've hit the 200 members and clients plateau, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Pretty good for a first year. You should just take the rest of the year off.
Well, no easy seat for us, Jordan, but it has been a fantastic year, very rewarding, exceeding our goals and expectations. Some real exciting news coming up. We've just purchased and making the final dotting I's and crossing T's on legal documents, but for a office space in the Eau Claire area in downtown Calgary. Great space. Looking forward to having members and clients come and visit us.
You overlook the river, I think, don't you?
We are just a kitty corner from a park. I can't remember the name of the park, but it is a park right on the river. I don't think we can quite see the water, but close enough.
We'll get you a little stepladder in your office.
In winter it's frozen anyway, so.
Well, you skate to work. Can I put you down?
Can I put my skate? Well, we have skating lanes instead of bike lanes in Calgary.
Perfect. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
And we needed more space. We've had an office there.
Well, so we've already hired 2 new people this year, looking at what are our next positions, what does growth look like for us in Alberta, and that's the key, growth. Yeah. We've got to make sure that our clients and members are serviced properly with the right number of staff. That's an awesome challenge to have. Yeah. Really looking forward to that. And our office space needed to go. We were already, I was sharing an office not dissimilar to this size here with one other person, with a temporary person coming in a couple days a week. Yeah. Other people, we had no meeting space. So this is going to be a great upgrade and a wonderful service to the members as well. The other thing that I'm really excited about is we've got a Corey Hirsch event coming up. Yes. So in Vancouver, you guys do such a great job with the CEO BuildX breakfast. Huge event. In Calgary, it's more nascent. It's just in its formative years. We're happy to partner with them and the Calgary Construction Association for their version of the CEO breakfast on the morning of October 18th. So we're really excited to bring Corey Hirsch out there to be the keynote speaker and kind of announce to the Calgary community, we're here, we're a proud collaborative partner, and also an opportunity for our members and clients to get together and meet each other for the first time too.
I think Corey was born in Medicine Hat, but grew up in Calgary, so I talked to him yesterday. He's feeling good about going home, he calls it.
Calgary's own Corey Hirsch.
Calgary's own Corey Hirsch. Yeah. And you and I have been fortunate to see and hear Corey speak several times over the past couple of years. If you've never seen Corey speak, his story it'll resonate. It's funny and heartbreaking all at the same time, but it really does give you a glimpse inside what someone who is in a position where he cannot express the issues he's having with his mental health because of culture or stigma and all those things. It gives you that kind of sense as to who he is, who those people are, and how they can actually be helped. And the great thing about Corey is I've seen him in one-on-ones with big construction CEOs who are highly skeptical and macho guys, and by the end of it they're like, Corey, I was running a lot after that divorce. maybe I was having a like he just kind of magnetizes it out of them.
He's just a down-to-earth, real person, which isn't just ideal for everybody. He's just ideally suited for the construction industry, for construction workers, normal guys living their lives, struggling, holding their stuff inside, and he makes it safe to talk about. If this elite professional athlete can talk about this, well then surely me, a welder, a pipe fitter, a carpenter, I can talk about it too. Yeah. So we're proud to support the whole construction industry with this effort and help do our part in that.
So you get your tickets for that. It's October 18th, correct?
October 18th, 7:30 a.m. at the TELUS Convention Center, which is the one downtown across from the Calgary Space Needle.
Yeah. Is that what they call it? I thought it was the Calgary Tower.
Calgary Tower.
ICBAAlberta.ca/CEO to get tickets for that.
Yeah.
And Mike, we'll talk again soon because we want to talk about some work we've done on the research side on benefits and wellness, which will tie into this as well. But thanks for being here. Anything else I should ask? Anything exciting?
No, looking forward next time, Jordan. Thank you very much.
Awesome.